Happy spring equinox, everybody. And for you disbelievers of astrology, are you really honestly going to tell me you can't feel the buzz in the air now that the sun is in a fire sign? And happy solar return to all the Aries people out there. Let's have a look at what's going on for you in the chart. Okay, this is for my Aries people, and this is the chart for this morning. You can see the sun has just ingressed into 0.00 Aries, and that was at 09:02 this morning in the UK. This is setting up the energy imprint for the next 3 months for people generally. When we look at this, we've got a nice trine to the moon, so head, body, soul is going to be very in tune with the emotions in terms of what you're feeling and the actions that you're taking, and the actions that you're taking is shown by that trine into Mars as well. I mean, it's not all perfect. The moon is opposing Jupiter, not ostensibly a bad thing. Your actions might be a bit overblown. You need to watch that. You might kind of act too much on emotions rather than being rational. And so for Aries people, you've got a lot going on. You can see all this energy in your sign. You've got Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograding there, retrograding back towards the sun. And in fact, Venus and the sun will actually conjunct on the 23rd of the month. And that's going to be a really lovely day, the Venus-Sun cazimi that's happening on that day. Really good for relationships, really good for contracts, that kind of thing. But nonetheless, Aries have had it quite difficult this year so far, with their ruler Mars being retrograde in the sign of Cancer as the year opened. And now Mars has gone direct. He's still in Cancer. In fact, he's in Cancer until the 18th of April. So there's still a little bit of time to go with that energy. Mars is in fall in Cancer. He doesn't like being in Cancer. It might have caused problems for you, not only with energy and motivation, but it might have caused problems around home and family. There might be something going on there that you've had to sort out. A lot of Aries people would have been very vulnerable to low immunity during this time and just feeling very tired and very weary. I mean, everybody, but Aries in particular. Now, Aries is a big focus over the next month or so. And that is because the sun has just conjunct Neptune at the 29th degree of Pisces, something that hasn't happened since the 1800s. Massive, massive portal, massive gateway into something. But what? So the sun is now carrying that Neptunian energy forward into Aries. And Neptune will ingress Aries on the 30th of this month. So Neptune in Aries is going to bring the realization of a lot of dreams for Aries. But it's not easy energy because it's still that very Piscean energy. It's the modern day ruler of Pisces. A lot of Piscean energy so a lot of water energy into a fire sign. So there's going to be a lot of adjustment there. Now that is on what is known as the world point. And I think it's going to bring particular events with it, especially around the eclipse that's happening on the 29th of this month, the final eclipse in Aries. We've had Aries Libra eclipses going on for the last 19 months or so, and this is the final eclipse. So it's the final swan song, if you like, and that's happening at 9 degrees Aries on the 29th. So Mercury goes direct 7th of April, followed by Venus direct on the 13th of April, on the same day as a full moon in Libra. Now that full moon in Libra is at 23 degrees Libra, so if you've got any planets around the 16 degree of Libra up until about the 27 degree of Libra, that's going to be quite important for you. Full moons, of course, are pivots or endings, Venusian signs, so also look at what Venus is doing for you on that day as well. But Aries, you've got a big year ahead. Not only are you going to be housing Neptune, I mean, Neptune will retrograde back into Pisces for the end of the year, but nonetheless, by 2026, he's in Aries for next 14 years or so. We're going to get a taste of that over the next 6 months or so, and what that is actually bringing to our lives. But then we've got later in the year, in May, we've got a Saturn ingress, and that's on the 25th of May. Now, for a lot of Aries, I think there's been a lot of unfocus and not being able to go for your goals directly. When Saturn ingresses Aries at the end of May, you will definitely be on a very straight course towards what you are actually here to do. So the events leading up to that, from this Aries eclipse at the end of March up until the end of May, brings a couple of months where it's going to be a time of a lot of shifts, a lot of change. Remember, you've got those retrograde personal planets and then they go direct again. And it's just going to bring people coming in and out of your life, changing goals on the work front, potentially a little bit of confusion with that Neptune ingress at the end of the month until you kind of adapt to that energy. Remember, Chiron is in Aries at the moment as well, so there's lots of issues around self-identity and who you are and what you're here to do and who you want to be, and there's been a bit of confusion around that. Nonetheless, that's all getting sorted out over this next couple of months. It may feel like you've been in a waiting room, but that waiting room is preparing you for what's to come from the end of May onwards. Now, on the world scale, there are a lot of very big events happening around this time, an acceleration of what we've already seen and already witnessed. So Aries is a very initiatory sign, it's a very bold sign, it's a very courageous sign, it's a very impulsive sign, and you're being asked to step into some kind of leadership role, some kind of role where you're going to be using all of your experience, all your life experience, everything that you've been through, and you're going to consolidate that into what happens as a reaction to what is happening on the world stage. Now you can see also that we've got this sextile here to Pluto from the Sun, and that is further evidence of massive transformation at this time. Lovely trine from the Moon to Venus on this day as well. So what you're doing or what you're about to do is going to be in true alignment, but maybe not clear until Venus passes over this point and goes direct again after mid-April. So Aries, all I can say about this time is have a happy solar return. If it's your birthday in the early part of this sign, you will be experiencing a lot of these big changes first, and then the mid and later born will be experiencing the indications of change in mid to late April. So all I can say is get ready, don't get frustrated. Once Cancer moves into Leo, it's going to be all systems go. So Aries, let me just pull you a couple of cards for your birthday month as a focus. And don't forget, if you want a reading with me, there is an offer on if you are an Aries sun for the whole month of Aries. Have a look at my link in bio for that. Just going over your solar return chart for the year ahead. Right, okay. Page of Swords. A new way of thinking that breaks the impasse of feeling trapped in your mind. But I was talking to a friend this morning, we were pulling cards together, and the Tower card came up more than once. And so, which is a card to me, and I've said this before, of Mars and Uranus, there is some big event about to drop, I think, on the world, you know, that's going to affect everybody. People won't be able to stick their head in the sand anymore. And as a result of that, that's when the true qualities of the Aries are going to come into being. So these are big times, these are big transits. It's not all happy, happy birthday cake and balloons. It's going to be a time when you are realizing the importance of all the skills and the bravery and the leadership qualities that you possess.